Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk Thinking Right. Yeah, I'm out here in the lab doing what I do for you. Hope you enjoy this lesson. I got a good one for you. I think so. Let's go. Right thinking. Excuse me. Wright 25 rules to live by. Excuse me. Storytelling. Story with a message. Message in the story for life. I'm giving life lessons. Hope you enjoy them. I see you tuned in to get them. So I'm going to keep on pushing them out to you. Let's do this thing. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment, knowing yourself a little bit better. Feeling good today. I hope you enjoy this one. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. That's the mission statement. That's my game plan. Now the question. Right thinker, know the answer. If not a right thinker, come on and join in and get the answer to the question that you need to know about you. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Avoid them. Excuse me, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. A person who knows not and believes that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can wake them up. I'm a spiritual alarm clock. I got you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my eye, be true. You got to have balance in your life. I'm standing up because I'm a little amped, so I'm a little excited right now. But we've been talking some good stuff. I've been hanging out with the good spiritual people, and everybody's into the God. I'm hanging out with my Christians, and I'm doing my lessons. I'm got to answer for my concepts and my views because they contradicted to some Christian views. It's all good. Right, thinkers, let's talk about my creed. Knowing thyself is knowing one thing that you need to know. If you're a believer, God's got it. So knowing thyself is knowing God's got it. You gotta know when to let God do what God do. Now I adopted that method into my right thinking philosophy because that wasn't my plan. I learned it from my pastor. I adopted it and it works. So guess what? It's out there for you. Learn how to let God fight your battles. Let's go. When you have your own experience with God, you become what they call a witness. And when you're telling people what happened, the experience, you testifying. See? It's no different. Right thinking philosophy goal is to get you to know yourself to be God, aka had that experience, the awakening, the anointment, the resurrection, the born again. We call it nihas. Why? When you recognize God and you recognize you and God as one, you are awakened to who you are. That's what the Egyptian wanted us to know as a people, ourselves. I live a spiritual lifestyle. Trust me. Excuse me. Trust me. God conscious. I'm on my God game 24/7. That's right thinking philosophy. God all the time. He tells you, and I listen to y'all talk all the good scriptures and dropping verses, but are you putting them to effect? Right thinking, the whole point about being a right thinker, you're putting into effect what you know to be. That's how you can prove who you are and what you know by doing it. Okay? I'm learning a lot. I'm learning to let God do what God do for you. Okay? I'm practicing that philosophy in my daily life and I'm seeing it work. So I have to say, at least now I know. I didn't hear it. I was told that. And let God fight your battles. Ignorant. I'll be the first to tell you. If something I don't know, when I find out, I'm jumping right on it. Well, I'm letting you know. I was ignorant to this fact before. Now, he fights all my battles. I'm just saying. When you're spiritual, you understand that concept. All right, watch this. I only teach what I know. And with practice and proof, I know that God's got it. It's my pastor, one of my pastor's favorite sayings. That's what his favorite. God's God, what you need, yeah. It's starting to make sense to me from a biblical perspective, which I'm learning. And I took the lesson, I practiced, I let them know this God thing is, I'm liking that. All right, here you go. Next one is, you don't believe God's got it. Your experience lets you know. Simple. And if you haven't had a God's got it moment or a but God moment, the veil of ignorance is still closed over your face. You got to get in touch with your God by any means necessary. Not having near-death experience, not no nonsense, but you need to study, sit down, and go in somewhere and meditate and get inside yourself. The way to go up is to go in about yourself, find out more about you. Here you go. I never saw it that way again until I had my own experience. I know now this is why I can talk about it. That's why I'm talking about it. I'm excited about that whole concept. All right, here you go. My pastor's favorite phrase in song is, God's got it. When you ask him how he doing, he'll tell you the same thing every time. I can't complain. God's too good to me. That's his phrase, and he use it and he live it. I ain't got no problem with that. Now, true believers in God will say with their mouth, believers, just one who believe in God will say, yeah, with their mouth, I believe in God, yeah. But that's just in words. Your deeds and your actions show otherwise. I'm not the one responsible for that. I'm not the one that's judging you for that. I'm just letting you know that if you say this and you do that, they got a name for them. I'm moving on. Now, watch this. A true believer, a.k.a. knowers of God, will tell you with pride, God's got it. Why? Because they done in the position where God took care of them. I know I am. And I'm telling you, God's got it. From experience. Not because I'm all spiritual. No. I know for a fact. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. With knowledge of self, you know God. So there's no, spooky mumbo jumbo. You already know. If you do this, you're going to get this. If you do good, you're going to be blessed. Sneaky, deceitful, hidden agenda, you're going to have feathers. Those are personal problems that you cause. When you be your own demise, don't fault nobody, don't blame nobody. Look at yourself and take responsibility for that. Here you go. Next one. After having my experience more than once, I now say it with pride, God's got it. And I feel so good because I can say it and knowing what it means. I hear people throwing verses out. First of all, I don't know nothing about the Bible. I'm getting my education and my knowledge from my teacher, my pastor, and he's telling me the things that I'm doing coinciding with what's in the Bible. So I'm Paul. I just know I'm doing what I do, and if that's cool, I'm doing it for you. That's what Paul did, right? No, I ain't going. No, I'm gonna calm it down. Well, yeah, okay. If you question God, you don't know God or yourself. When you know yourself, you know God, you will let him dictate to you every time. The last time I didn't follow his instructions, I went to prison. It's a long time ago. There you go. To question God is to question yourself. Why do you think that is? If you're following, that's what you need to be doing. If you're just following or just something gonna go wrong, there's a misconnection there. That's why it needs to be working together. They need to be together. I used to question everything. That's when I was ignorant. When you become enlightened, you stop asking why, you stop doubting, you just do. I'm just saying. I serve my God with 100% effort of myself. I'm led by my spirit, the heart, mind, coherence, they're working together, and I'm fine. Why? I'm God conscious. I told you, from the time I wake up, God. To the time I lay down, God. That's God consciousness. You can call it prayed up. No, I don't pray all day. I ain't know. But I'm in the meditative mode all day to keep my peace within myself, center myself. But praying, say that for the prayer line. I'll be one day, I'm a warrior. But you have to go to your meditative state. Go inside, stop, still yourself, and listen. That's a little tidbit. Work on that. All right. I am in constant communication with my God from sun up to sundown. I just told you, I live God conscious. Why? It serves me. What you do is fine. I do what works for me. That's the name of the game. Okay, understand this. Where we at now? Okay, I'm a true believer and follower of God, not religion. Understand that, please. Right thinking is not a religion. It's a way of life. I'm doing the show, T. Hold on. Do you know God's got it? Do you know God's got it? Do you really know God's got it? Do you know? Okay. Do you know that for yourself? That God's got it. We say it, and everybody, yeah, God's got it. But only those who have had that God experience can say it with believing and empathy and understanding. Yeah, I know God's got it. Every now and then, you ain't really sure. But if you put your faith and put your belief in the right place, you know that too for yourself. God's got it. Do you trust and believe in God? If your lifestyle will show. If you trust and believe in God, then your lifestyle will show it. If you say one thing, professing God and yeah, but your actions is no, we know what that's about. Do you know that serving God with good deeds will be blessed? If you put out good work, you will get good work in return. They call them blessings. Understand, everybody's not blessed because everybody don't earn them. Those who earn them is blessed. He don't play favors. He don't discriminate. You do for him, he do for you. End of discussion. I'm moving on. I'm almost done. I appreciate you. Running a little long. Sorry about that. Do you know God through studying and practicing what you learn? I'm doing the Bible the other way. I'm living it, and I'm being instructed on what I'm doing compared to the Bible. I ain't got a problem with that. Okay? Whatever. Whoa. Do you know you and God are one? If you're a right thinking master, that's one of the first things you know. Next one. Last one, I'm about to wrap it up. I and all right thinkers know what God's got it. When you have belief in a living God, they call it. Why? Because every day you got to prove yourself worthy. So he's on his job just like you got to be on yours. And guess what? The devil is on his. When you do the right thing, when you do the right thing, your blessings are in God's hand. And guess what? He always delivers. That's why God's got it. No, God's got it is the anthem for true believers. Even Christians and Christian followers, they like God's got it. They just be, because if you had that experience, you will sing that song. I don't know no hymns in church. I know that one. Whatever your needs are, if you work for God, you know what's going to happen. He's got it. He's going to fulfill your needs. God's got it for all those who choose to serve him, what? Unconditionally. You can't go to God and say, well, if I do this, you going to give me that God? But no, he don't work on them bases. That's that other guy. God ain't the deal maker. All right. He's the deliverer. I give it to God, and every time he showed me why I should do that. So I can tell you before I leave, God's got it. I'll be back.